faculty exhibition. I'm Wendy Welch. I'm director of the Vancouver Island School of Art. Just going to move out of here because the light is in my eyes. So this is probably our 5th annual faculty show, and I think it's a really nice way to start the school year by getting our faculty together and show in the Simon Gallery. So it's always an interesting experience because I work with the faculty on a yearly, daily basis, and every time we have a faculty show, there's always nice surprises for me. And what I really appreciate about this particular show, and actually most of our shows, is all the work is really new and fresh. And one of the things I'm really proud about our faculty is that they're all practicing artists, and it gives such a great example to the students, so that when our faculty is talking about art, they're really actively involved in the professional practice of art. So that's really great to see, and I think the faculty exhibition is proof of that our faculty is trying new and different things, and the work is really alive. And so I thought I would just kind of go around the room and introduce the faculty and their work, so you can put a face to the work. So some of them aren't here, but I'll introduce their work anyways. So in the back corner there, that's a painting by that's a painting by Zane. That's Tracy introducing the painting. So Zane he teaches color theory and painting and design. And this painting is really fresh, and I'm quite excited because Zane hasn't been painting in a while, so it's nice to see that he's doing this painting. And so when he told me he was bringing in a 5-foot by 5-foot painting, I thought that was really exciting, except he only told me that yesterday, which was less than exciting. So one of the things about hanging the faculty show is that the faculty, only some of them bring their work when I ask, and the rest bring them on the day of, or the day before the opening. So it's really hard. I just put up newsprint pieces with their name on it. And in terms of curating, it's hard to know, well, would this newsprint go with this newsprint? So yesterday, half the wall just had like newsprint. And I'm hoping the colors would go. And it's just like amazing when I look at the show now and see that it feels as if it was really planned. It feels like it was curated. You look at the way the colors are, the neutrals, and just how everything fits together. And this seems to happen every year. Every year I think, well, is there going to be enough work? Is the work going to go together? Because I have to imagine what it's going to look like. And because it's new work, I don't really know what the work is going to be. So Zane did ask for another wall, but it wasn't really possible. So anyways, he's not here. And then the next 2 pieces are Jeroen. He's a painting instructor, and he also does, he's doing some directed studies this semester. And last year he had a really large painting. So what's really interesting about Jeroen's work is that he goes from extreme in scale, from really large to really small. So it's both types of work have really a different kind of impact. So this is much more intimate. And next is Marie, who's here. Marie's teaching Understanding Spaces, and she comes to us from Berlin, Germany, or Weimar. So just most people know Berlin, so Weimar, and she's studying at the Bauhaus University. You're doing your PhD there. And so this work is really fresh. I just saw it this morning. Marie just arrived from Germany today, or yesterday. So, and then there's also a list, just so you know, of all the artists' names and titles. And then these 2 lovely photographs here are Tara Nicholson. Tara's having, right now there's an amazing exhibition of her work at the Rouge Gallery on Yates Street. yeets and broads, so it's really worth checking out the work. So these are, I really enjoyed this kind of scale. It's again, it's a different scale, but there's something really to be said about small, just because you want to go in to this sort of intimate setting, and then the subject matter too has this kind of intimacy, so it's really beautiful. And then, so did I point out Tara? That's Tara. Okay, and Jen. Where's Jen? Here's Jen. Wave your hand. So Jen teaches printmaking, different kinds of printmaking, dry point, wood block. So again, this was a surprise. I didn't realize you did poetry and writing, so that was a nice something different to see in your work. And then Jeremy. Jeremy's new in our faculty. Where are you, Jeremy? That's Jeremy. So Jeremy started teaching at Visa in the spring, and then he did a workshop. And everyone already loves him so much. He's a fantastic teacher. I've heard really good things already about your class. So he did these two paintings and that one there. So Jeremy does all his work on site. So he's working for many hours on each painting and working with the changing light as the scene changes. So that's his work. And then this is Todd Lava. Todd's not here. Todd's teaching intermediate and advanced painting. So, and then this is This Lovely Family by Tracy Nelson. So it's really worth taking some time to look at these in detail. I'm the proud owner of two of them, and I love how, well, I have three. I love how when you put them in different spaces, their personality changes. So sometimes I put it on my windowsill, it looks one way, and then on my mantle, it's another look. So they really do have such a beautiful character, and I really enjoy the new element, Tracy, of having the stands, because they sort of have this self-contained way of being. And then this is Rachel. Did you just arrive, Rachel? Perfect timing. Perfect. So, Rachel, this is a collaborative piece, and Rachel teaches drawing at the school, and so the list on the column, there's a list of artists that are involved in this, and the highlight of this, of course, is this is cockatoo excrement. It's quite exquisite. It's the best excrement I've ever seen. Yeah. So if you want to read more about the project, it's up on the wall. It's an ongoing project, and Rachel encourages other people to participate, so you could sign up and get involved. But why didn't you put the 100 of them up?
That was all the wall space.
Oh, okay.
I ran out of nails.
Okay. So you've got two excuses. See, your students have trained you well. Okay, and this is John Luna's piece. So John, he now teaches at Brentwood College, but he teaches with us over the summer doing workshops. We like to include his work, and he's not here tonight, but he sent me 8 emails on how to hang this piece. So, and which way, because his pieces are often reversible, but I actually didn't go by the 8 emails, I just kind of went for the intuitive approach. So, John, his work is, always on the verge of changing, so when he leaves a piece for a show, there's always instructions on how else it could be, and maybe, like I'll get an email late at night saying, no, maybe it should be hung on the other side. So it's interesting, that idea of a work of art never really being finished, and so John really works with that idea. So, and then these are my pieces. It's always a little awkward when it comes to talking about my work, but I've been doing an ongoing series about cells and cellular biology. And I'm really interested in the idea of how cells are really the same, but they're all different. And Danielle was asking me today about how, like, if I listen to radio or watch movies when I do my artwork, does it affect the artwork? And it's interesting how that does happen. And I do read a lot about environmental issues and, you know, have a lot of concerns about what's going on, and thinking a lot about things like our use of oil and the pipeline, and how the Northern Gateway pipeline is going to be really safe and all this thing. And I was thinking about, you know, I still remember the Exxon Valdez spill and how, you know, horrific that was, and how 22 years later people are still feeling the effects. So this started to be about how, like, oil infiltrates the systems, the biological systems at a cellular level beyond what we could ever see. So this was just starting working on cells and then listening to this, and it just sort of happened without me being self-conscious about it. I just started thinking about, you know, oil, and so just started working with the paint, and that's how it came. And it's an ongoing series. There's probably 10 more of this. And then the shapes in the middle are kind of slightly alluding to heart shapes or organs and relating to our body. You get to hear a lot more about this work because I'm new. But anyway, so that's the short version of it. So. And then this is Danielle's piece, and it's very fresh. She's been working on it all week, and Danielle's been doing a lot of drawing, and this is sort of a three-dimensional drawing in a sense, right? So if you want to ask Danielle any questions about it, this is Danielle in the red. So, but it's interesting to think about, you know, I was thinking about Goldsmiths University, where the young British artists went to, Damien Hirst and all these famous artists, the British artists went to the school. And, you know, I've been looking at their curriculum because I find it really interesting, and I'd love to be able to do something like that. They only have 2 classes. They have critical studies and studio art. And I really love that idea, rather than separating everything, drawing, painting, and sculpture, that it is just studio art. And Danielle's work is sort of representative of that. It has drawing and, you know, painting elements, perhaps with the color, and then sculpture. So that's the story on Danielle. And is there anyone I didn't introduce? Did I do okay? Well, I'm not really asking that question.
You did well.
Okay, so everyone enjoy the show, and feel free to ask any questions. And again, thank you for coming.
Thanks, great.